good? Welcome to PHLY Flyers, presented by Ashley. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games on this beautiful F Around Friday. Joining me here live in the Xfinity studio, it is the perfect co-host for F Around Friday, Mr. Flyperbole, Steve Jaco. We actually do have hockey stuff to talk about, but quite honestly, it's a summer Friday.
Summer Friday, baby.
Dad ain't here. Yeah, I want to do more screwing around than talking about stuff that actually matters, because we're kind of just in this holding pattern. We see the Flyers are starting to maybe show their hand on a plan. All right, there's this Darnell Nurse thing going on. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. You see the interest in the mutual interest. Ottawa likes Risto. The Flyers like three of their centers. We could use a center. You kind of just see it coming together. Maybe if they were to ship out, Risto or other defensemen, the John Carlson thing or something like that makes sense. There's a plan, but none of it other than addressing backup goalie, which was really, really important, has come to fruition yet. So we're just kind of waiting for these things to occur or for other things to happen, dominoes to fall, and so here we are. That makes it F Around Friday.
That makes it F Around Friday, and as we all know, the F in F Around Friday stands for Flyperbole.
Flyperbole, baby.
I am here to talk some nonsense because I love to talk nonsense. I will talk nonsense all day. Yeah, it's a great day. I mean, it's a real, it's one of those summer days, folks. I took a long walk here. I'm all red-faced and dehydrated. It's awesome. The best way to start a podcast right there, Bill.
Oh, I hit my parents' pool this morning before the show. I was like, you're not going to be home?
I hate you so much right now. I haven't swam in so long, and I love swimming.
Me and Ava and a bunch of our friends and their kids came over for an hour when my parents were out. I was yeah, let's go over there, man. Let's go hit their pool.
I was doing rehearsal before this for her sketch show.
Right.
But that's where I'm at.
Before we get into the topics, I have to address the most serious matter. 1 week from today, Friday, June 26th, is the official PHLY Flyers draft party, brought to you by our friends at Wawa and Ashley. It is going to be live at Yards Brewing. That's right, Yards Brewing right here in Philly on Spring Garden. Yards, of course, in association with Broad Street Hockey, Philly Sports Trips as well. This is going to be a great time. It is our premier event. We have done a draft party going back to when I first started at BSH every year since 2017, except, of course, 2020. It was illegal, and the draft was in October that year. But we've done one every other season. It is our premier event. It gets better every year. And this year, we're going to be live at Yards Brewing for the show and party. RSVP at allphly.com/events. Entry is free. There is no cover. But there's going to be $5 beer specials, $5 brawlers, $5 Philly standards.
Oh, I'm going to destroy some Philly standards.
You're going to want those $5 beer specials, which means you need to be on the list so you can get a wristband or whatever we're doing, so the bartenders know to only charge you $5. Get your name on the list, allphly.com/events. Super easy. See you all next Friday at Yards Brewing.
Do it.
All right. Right off the bat, Steve, it is time for the big takeaway presented by Xfinity. Darnell Nurse. The Nurse rumors have, I feel reached a point where negotiations fall apart, better offers come from other places. There's one sticking point for either side that they're not willing to budge off of, and so something doesn't happen. But I just feel like this is one of those, if there's smoke, there's fire things. I bet they're negotiating.
I wouldn't be surprised, and this is certainly a real Keith Jones kind of player right here, Darnell Nurse. Big, physical guy will, fight it up and everything. This is a guy who, you look at traditional Flyers hockey, old school Flyers hockey right there. Darnell Nurse is certainly that kind of guy. I know every writer, especially columnist in Philadelphia, is also they want this to happen so bad because of the Don McNabb angle that they can work into every aspect of it. But, this is a guy that I'm kind of torn on because, I do like the size and physicality and durability of a player like this. But that cap hit is terrifying.
And that's really, and Charlie, I think, gets into this in his article. Even while he's away at a wedding in California, he is dropping content if you're not a diehard. I mean, that right there, talk about a diehard. Charlie is a diehard beat writer. and dropped an article about the Flyers' reported interest in Darnell Nurse. Read it at all, PHLY.com.
Best in the biz.
While you're there, get your draft party tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Like, kind of breaking down, and this is the conversation he and I have had, it gets to a point with, like, this is why players don't want their salaries public. Because Darnell Nurse is not judged as like, you know what, he is a pretty good second-pair defenseman. He is judged, well, he's getting paid as a 1. Well, yeah, all right. The Edmonton Oilers are a poorly run organization. We know this. That's not his fault. But since he makes $9.25 million, you have to take that into account in the cap league. You do have to be like, well, that makes us not able to spend somewhere else.
Well, that's always been a big deal for the Flyers because one of the Flyers are the team that I think has been affected more by the existence of a salary cap than any other NHL team because Ed Snyder used to just come in and be like, I'll just pay you more. Yeah. And they can't do that anymore. And that has affected this team forever at this point. Paul Holmgren would do some of the craziest maneuvering that you could think of to try and avoid that salary cap. God help him if he had gotten Shea Weber offer sheet through because that would have been just insane for him to maneuver around every year. This isn't quite what he was going for Shea Weber with, but we've been complaining about Rasmus Ristolainen making slightly over $5 million for the past 3 years. I can't imagine if they take on this 9.25 cap hit from Darnell Nurse, what the heck they're going to do in that scenario.
And that's where I like, first and foremost, I'm interested in Nurse or a player of his archetype on the left side next to Jamie Drysdale. Or, like, keep York there and then put a guy like that on your third pair, maybe move Sealer halfway through the season or something, and suddenly you have a pretty decent third pair with, like, you know, Nurse and Bonk or something like that. I'm fine. But Nurse at anything over $7 million is way too much. And I still think like 7 or 6.8 is too much, but it might be about right because we haven't fully adjusted to the cap world we live in. Not to mention, he's 31 years old. He turns 32 in February. He signed for 4 more years. He is signed for next season and 3 after that. That is a long time for a guy in his mid-30s. Now, something that scares me a little less, you mentioned his durability. Over the last 9 years, he has played every game of the regular season 6 times. He missed 1 game in 2023-24, 6 games in 24-25, and 11 back in 21-22. He doesn't miss time. This guy plays pretty much every game every season. So that, right, like, all right, he's older, but he does appear to, like, physically be put together well enough to deal with the NHL schedule.
Certainly better than Rasmus Ristolainen.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and like that's the problem is I like if the moves were equal, like, oh, why not just like, okay, if we're going to do that, extend Risto 2 or 3 more years. Not that I'm advocating for it, but seems similar. Yeah. But Risto never plays. Risto misses half the season every year. This guy never misses time. So I'll give him a little bit of a bump there.
You know, I also like about Nurse versus like Ristolainen is Ristolainen, while he does have that physicality, it's not quite to where the reputation is with him sometimes. Because if you just went on Rasmus Ristolainen's reputation, you would think he was 1998 Darian Hatcher. Yeah. But he's not. He's not like a nasty guy. He's just kind of a big body who can shove guys around. But Nurse is a guy who will actually, like, he will fight a dude. He will get in your face and he'll do some nasty stuff. And I think that's a little bit, the Flyers do need a guy like that. They do need a guy for when guys are coming after them. And like Delorier was in that position for a bit last year, but Delorier is basically useless as an actual hockey player these days. Great physical presence, great locker room guy, great dancer. But as far as actually providing you with on-ice product, not really giving you that. Where Nurse is a guy who can give you that on-ice stuff and give you that physicality and that nastiness.
Yeah, that's Risto, who I think has turned himself into a nice top 4 second pair. They're using him on the first defenseman. He's never had more than 38 penalty minutes in Philadelphia.
That's crazy.
Now, like, he's missed a ton of time, but still, like, this year, 16 PIMs in 44 games.
Yeah.
You don't want defensemen spending a ton of time in the box because there's only 6 of them. And if, you know, they're good, you especially defensively, you'd want them killing the penalty.
You would think, but ideally.
To your point, like Risto, it seems when there's a scrum in front, he comes in and then it just kind of backs everything off. Whereas I think Nurse just comes in firing a little bit more, you know? Yeah. Like, and I personally, that's my kind of guy. I just really, if he was a free agent and it was like everyone understood, okay, the contract he was on was too much and he's going to sign for a Risto level deal, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's do that. I'm in. Fine with me, even with his age.
Or if you could do some NFL-style restructuring, because the NFL just makes contracts magically go down sometimes.
Fake. Yeah, the NFL salary cap, their contract, it's all an illusion. If you were in cap trouble in the NFL, you're run by someone who manages their money like me, quite honestly. Like, there's no other explanation for it.
I can relate to that way too much. But yeah, like the NHL salary cap is all too real and all too much of a pain in the ass for the Flyers to deal with. And what worries me, why I'm focusing on the salary cap is, yeah, the cap's going up, but they have a lot of young guys who are due raises. Tyson Forrester, last year of his deal, $3.75 million cap hit. You better believe that's going up, especially if he gets 30-plus goals this season and stays healthy. Michkov's going to be due a contract at some point. Porter Martone's going to be due a contract.
Yeah, they burned the year of Porter Martone. Like, it's sooner than you think.
It's sooner than you think. And on top of that, they want to go big game hunting for a center. So it's not going to be cheap, whatever center they get. And Trevor Zegras has to be signed.
Zegras is about to get, if you believe the reports, like 7 or 8 years, 8.5, 9.5 mil.
Which I'm very comfortable with, but that's a lot of money.
I can't imagine Jamie Drysdale is going to be making huge money, but it'll be a substantial raise because he's pretty damn good now.
Yeah, so Drysdale's currently making, well, it's not on the page, so never mind. It's I'd have to go back in time.
Oh, yeah, Puckpedia has advanced to the next season now, so it makes it really difficult to, he's just an RFA.
Tyson Forrester was convenient. Jamie Drysdale not here. But he's going to get a raise. That's all that matters.
And
2.3.
The thing is, I think Edmonton is well aware they have to retain some salary cap. There's some salary on Nurse to trade him. But once you start retaining on a guy, the trade return goes up. And I don't want to give up a whole lot for Darnell Nurse. No. Like, there's a very narrow window in which I like a trade for Nurse, and I trust Briere. I don't think he's made a bad trade yet. Like, we went through a bunch of them yesterday, and trades are where he has done the majority of his best work. I just don't know. Like, the parameters of this trade are that is going to determine what makes it good or not in my mind.
Right, because they just traded for a backup goaltender, and they gave up a pretty good, not great, young defenseman in Emil Andre. I like Andre a lot. It was very clear the coaching staff was not super high on him. But ultimately, they decided this is a piece that we're willing to give up in exchange for a much more solid backup goaltender. And that's a move I agree with. But if you have to give up an Andre or higher caliber player in this Nurse deal, I'm a little hesitant. You know, like Ristolainen 1-for-1, I'm cool with that aspect of it. But then when you start talking about draft picks, when you start talking about young players, that's where I get a little, shy of making a deal like this.
I just there's a world where this works and it's a good trade, but it's narrow parameters for me. So we will see, but that is the big takeaway presented by Xfinity, this Darnell Nurse thing. I just feel like in this this weekend and leading up to the draft and right before free agency, the Flyers are going to make a flurry of moves. I feel it coming very much that we're going to be doing emergency shows because I think Jonesy does stuff on purpose sometimes.
No. We're
going to announce this at 2:30. We're going to announce this at 2:30 after they're done.
He's thinking specifically of his dear old friend Bill Matz here. He's like, how can I really, really get to Bill here?
I honestly think they just like to mess with Charlie because they know he's stressed out about everything.
Oh, Charlie will, he's got that fluster about him where you're just like, all right, it's 3 a.m, let's go.
Yeah, that's, so I saw a fake account at 3 this morning that said, Blockbuster, Nurse for Michkov, no salary retention. And for 15 seconds, I was freaking out and then realized that didn't happen. Use your brain. And scrolled and I was like, oh yes, this is completely fake. What are you doing? Why did you even think this was real? Now I got to call Charlie.
Because it was 3 a.m.
Yeah, now I got to call Charlie.
At
least it's only midnight.
Emergency pod.
Yeah, at least it's only midnight on the West Coast. You're on vacation at a wedding. I wonder if you've had a few drinks. Let's do a pod about a trade that didn't happen.
That's the Charlie I want on a pod. I mean, I want Charlie. Charlie's fantastic, but I want to see that kind of Charlie, tired, delirious, little tipsy Charlie at the end of the night. Let's go.
All right, coming up on the other side, we're going to hit some response rewind. We had a couple of show clips on social media yesterday about Mason McTavish and the interest in Ottawa Senators. We're going to see what everyone on social media had to say about it after this quick 2-minute break. Now that the Stanley Cup and NBA Finals are over, it's time to focus on other sports in this city. The World Cup is heating up and the city is buzzing. Plus, warm sunny days at Phillies games are finally here. Who doesn't love BOGO hot dogs or ice cream helmets? And now there's never been a better time to start something new at Bet365. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide and live streams 780,000 events each year. And right now, new users get $200 in bonus bets thanks to their Bet $10, get $200 promo. All you have to do, sign up, make a $10 bet, and they'll throw you $200 in bonus bets. That's right, $200. At Bet365, they know the only thing better than winning bets with your own money is winning bets with theirs. Download the app and use code PHLY365. Bet365, where winning is everything. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in PA. T's and C's apply. In-app only. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? Well, that's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together. Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And Wi-Fi that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's already online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And the best part, there's no annual contracts and no hidden fees. And Xfinity's best equipment is always included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only, restrictions apply, and as always, let's go Flyers. Why Flyers? I see you have us at 69 likes, and that's super nice.
That's nice.
But you know what else would be nice? Hitting that like button again, and then going to allphly.com/events and RSVPing to the draft party next Friday, June 26th. RSVP. It's going to make my life easier, and it's going to get you $5 beers. I don't understand what's so difficult about it.
$5 beers. Come on.
People, it's not as if we don't have RSVPs. I keep saying, like, just do it already. People have. I'm just trying to really boost up these numbers.
Boost it up because we're going to have a great time. The draft party is an amazing time every year, and I love that we're doing it at Yards this year. Yards is fantastic. One of my favorite places. The space they opened up, like, I love their old space, but having that much more room to be able to do events like this is outstanding.
And listen, I know this is the Flyers show. A lot of our fans are, suburbanites. Plenty of parking.
Yeah.
It's real easy to get to.
You've got parking here.
Yeah, it's real easy to get to. There's no reason not to go. allphly.com/events. All right, let's get to Response Rewind. All right, a couple of clips from yesterday I wanted to bring back and see some people's responses. The first one was about a mailbag question asking my preference on the Ottawa Senators centers, because it sounds that the Flyers, with varying degrees of interest in how much they'd have to give up for each, like all three of Shane Pinto, Dylan Cozens, and Ridley Greig. And I kind of put it as Pinto, my number one, and honestly, give me any of the three. The Flyers need centers. I like aspects of all three of their games, and they're all young enough where it's like, there's more upside here. But Pinto is my number one, and then kind of Cozens and Greig for different reasons, alternating. First response is from James Klug. He says, Cozens and Pinto dead even for different reasons, and then Greig. But I feel the price for Greig might be a better fit for us. I really like all three. Being stuck behind Stützle, I think all three would get more opportunity with us, and Greig is very Flyers. Yeah, Ridley Greig, that was my thing. The thing I know him for is he scores that empty netter against Toronto a couple years ago, where he's like at the bottom of the circle and just pumps a slap shot in and is all fired up, and like Morgan Riley jumps him all pissed off. I thought that was great. I love a guy like that. Ridley Greig, very cool. And the idea of Cozens and Pinto being even makes sense to me. Pinto is 25 and 219 days. Cozens is 25 and 130 days. So they're basically the exact same age. We've seen a little bit more scoring prowess lately from Cozens, 28 goals last year. Pinto, 23 and 46 points. maybe more offensive upside with Cozens, but I just like Pinto's all-around game, I guess. Pretty good in the face-off circle, 6th in Selke voting last year. I'm good with all three, but yeah, I think the idea of Pinto and Cozens even is fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And, you're stretching my knowledge of the Ottawa Senators here. But, I like what I've seen from Shane Pinto, and I have to agree with your assessment right there. So, yeah, I mean, I'm down for pretty much any center you're going after there. It is interesting when you think about just how much they're upgrading with any of these kind of deals, though, versus going out and going after an actual big game there. They're in such a fascinating position, and we talked about the cap before, but that Sean Couturier cap hit right now is such a killer because, and we all love Coutsie, but like at the end of the day, that's a lot of money for a fourth-line center.
Absolutely, and I do want him to stay in that spot, though. Like that's a big
100%.
Like. He seemed very effective there, and I do think it's important to try to maybe limit his minutes in the regular season so that you can use him the way you did in the playoffs, and perhaps you get a Jordan Staal-esque performance out of him at some point in his mid to late 30s. That would be cool. So I do think they still need the center depth, even if it's not like a surefire 1C.
Yeah.
And yeah,
but is this like in these scenarios, right? Are we basically counting Trevor Zegras out as a true center? Because that's really the fascinating aspect of this. Because you have Christian Dvorak locked down for it's 5 years now, right?
Yeah,
I know people love that deal. So you've got Dvorak in there. I guess Noah Cates is really the clear guy who would have to be swapped out here somewhere.
I think either you trade Cates, but I think they really like Cates, and I personally believe you win with a guy like Cates when you have, the top 6 in front of him that you need. He is a guy you need, but he would be a great winger on a shutdown line. Like him and Dvorak and then like a real fast guy on the right wing. Okay, that's our shutdown line now. Yeah. I think that is kind of the plan with Zegras at 1C, and then you slot in someone else there. Like Shane Pinto, Dylan Cozens. That's a good 1-2 punch.
It is, for sure.
Is it 2 studs? No, but it's 2 guys who are really good and have a higher effect than just their production on the game.
I guess my whole thing is like who gets shipped out in this kind of deal.
Yes.
And where do you go from there? Because like this is where Danny Briere is paid what he's paid to do his job versus me being paid to do this, because there's a big gap here in what I envision for the future of the Flyers and what he might see for this. So if they are interested in this, what I'm interested in is how does this shuffle the lineup? What does the lineup look like after you insert a guy like this into there? While it is an upgrade, it's like, okay, who's going where in the lineup as a result of that? There's a lot of moving parts with this team, which is what makes them really interesting to talk about this offseason.
All right, next one here is from Two Time. Can you please elaborate on why your preference is Pinto over Cozens? I think I think they might have to give up a little less for Pinto. Right now, it feels like it's Risto going the other way, and if it's one of the top 2 guys, Pinto or Cozens, Risto and something else.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that something else is less for Pinto because he's a little older and little less offensive upside. But I just think the all-around game, the fact that he's kind of used in that shutdown role, like that is something. To me, they can win without a true like stud 1C if it's Zegras and then another guy whose impact on the game is like equal to Zegras, even if that doesn't mean production. Like as good as, but in a different way. And that's what I think Pinto brings.
Do you think part of it with Pinto also is just that defensive prowess and being able to kind of be, I don't know, like a kind of a substitute 1C, like no, we have a 1C at home kind of situation, the generic store brand 1C. Because like one of the things is like, I love Trevor Zegras and I think he played well as center late in the season, but that defensive game, that 2-way game is still lacking. So having a guy you can put in there as kind of like a, not quite a 1C, but more or less a 1C might be really important. Then maybe you can slide Dvorak down to the third lining or third. And
lining. Then you are pretty set.
First day doing a podcast here.
Yeah. Then you're pretty set down the middle in terms of matchups. Like you're able to free up like if Zegras and Martone stay together. I don't think Martone's going to be like a defensive liability in his prime, but young players make mistakes.
Yeah.
And Zegras, like you said, I think he really figured out. To me, one of the most impressive things he figured out at center was like, all right, I'm going to be low in the zone. He's not going to be the guy cross-checking dudes in the slot. Like, that's not going to be him. But what does he have? He has a great stick. You see the hand-eye. He was like, oh, any pass coming across the middle, I can get my stick on. And he did that pretty effectively. But I don't want him up against the other team's top competition every single night. Like, that's not how I want to deploy that. And if you can free up that line, they'll be more productive in the offensive end, I think. And I think that's that would make it a little more for me. But honestly, any of the three. Yeah. I will take any of the three. It's just the top two have more offense, at least to this point. And finally, from R Red, I guess his name is, we have a, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Cozens, but he won't be available, so Pinto. And that's kind of my other thought is, like, slotting in what they have. Like, all right, Stützle, Cozens, we'll then have Greig at 3. All right, yeah, kind of. I feel like Pinto is the one where they can most easily acquire him. And it's still a bigger deal than Ridley Greig, who I would also enjoy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, any one of the guys is an upgrade, but it's a very interesting question. Again, prices are really going to dictate a lot of this. And seeing who Danny Briere and Keith Jones value over other guys, because that's the big question with Nurse. That's going to be the big question here. Seeing Andre go out so early, where do they go from here? And who's the next guy to go out? Because we talk a lot about if it's going to be Tippett, if it's going to be, I'm trying to throw some of the other names out there. Cates comes up a lot, but there are guys that are definitely staying. And then there are guys like, I'm not so sure about him.
Yeah, all right. And the other clip I wanted to get to in response rewind was about Mason McTavish, a mailbag question yesterday from Adam Shubs. He said, Mason McTavish stinks. Why do so many Flyers fans want Danny to trade for him? And I just thought that was a funny question.
I can tell you why. It's because he's a name. And it's because he was drafted high. That's the why. That's literally, like, nobody's watched him. None of us watch the Ducks. When do we watch the Ducks? When they come here and get their butts kicked by the Flyers. That's pretty much it. So none of us watch the Ducks. We just know he was drafted 3rd overall. And it's like, well, he's got to be good. We haven't seen that fail for the Sixers or anything. For us, Nolan Patrick. Hey.
I think McTavish fits what Tocchet does better than what Quenneville does. And that's why, like, all of a sudden, oh, is he a center? Oh, his production's down a little. Like, I think that makes sense that happened under Quenneville.
If the Flyers were to trade for McTavish, that's really where you're going to have to show a lot of faith in the front office to know that they can fix somebody like that. Because clearly they're only making that deal if they see something that they like and they can work with. Like Dan Vladar, for instance. Yeah. Dan Vladar never really, like, we talked about this a year ago. We were like, Dan Vladar, this guy's numbers stink. This is a terrible signing. And then he proved us all wrong. So clearly, if they made this kind of trade, you have to put a lot of faith that they've done their homework on this guy.
And my biggest drawback with McTavish is I think he's got like 6 years. He signed long-term at $7 million. Yeah. He's one of the guys they invested in early, and then it was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that. And
yikes.
There's a price at which I'm willing to trade for him, even with no retention.
Sure.
But it is low. Like, if it's a 2027 third and Devin Kaplan, sure, man. Yeah. Done. But I'm not giving up any sort of premium assets for him, and I think that's where we get into he stinks. I don't think he stinks. He's averaged 19 goals for, like, the last 3 years.
Yeah.
He can score more than that if in a system that benefits him more, and if our power play, like, ever gets good. Yeah, that'd be nice.
What a concept right there.
But I just, like, it is, like the Nurse thing, narrow parameters for it to make sense for me. I wouldn't be jumping for joy if they got McTavish. Certainly not on my priority list. Some of the responses I wanted to get to. Hockey Life. McTavish is just a high-end 3C, and we already have Cates and Devo for that. I think he brings you a little more offense than Cates does, who also, I think, is better suited for wing. He's a good center. I think he's a better winger.
I agree.
And Dvorak, he's your 3C. Hopefully, one day they can get out of that contract, though. Like, that's why it's basically a 3-year deal, and then all his protection goes away. Like, I think that's kind of their plan there. But I'm always for an upgrade. I don't know if he's actually an upgrade, but you can never have enough centers. And we've seen McTavish playing a lot of wing lately.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you look at the 2010 Flyers, and they were just centers abound. So it's definitely a big thing to have, and this team has lacked it for years.
And the second response I wanted to get to, just because it's funny, it was Adam Shubs who asked the initial mailbag question, and then the reply to this clip. Twin brother Davis jumps in. He do be stinking. The twin is right. And I just thought that was funny, Steve. So I wanted to highlight that one.
He do be stinking.
The Twins are...
Masons be stinking.
The Twins are in alignment on their belief that Mason McTavish smells bad.
That hive mind is kicking in.
Yeah. Listen, like, I think it's an expensive reclamation project. I think it's worth a shot if they're giving them away. Other than that, if they're just like, really, we want this $7 million off the books, okay, well, then we'll give you a fourth for him.
I mean, like, that's a deal where if they make it, if they, trade low for him, they clearly see something that they think is worth that $7 million a season.
And of course, you would have to clear something out of the top 9 because, my God, there's not enough spots already.
They got to make some moves. So it's going to be a fascinating offseason because somebody got to go.
All right, coming up on the other side of our second break, we're going to have some fun, talk about some stupid stuff. That's a debate that has taken over our office over the last few days. I want Steve's opinion on if something is cool or not. We'll do all sorts of fun stuff coming up after this quick 2-minute break. If you're really feeling it after a tough workout or a pickup game, or you just feel everyday life catching up to you, do not ignore it. Go with the best. Rothman Orthopedics. They've earned national recognition as the #1 physician practice by Castle Connolly for having the most top doctors in orthopedic care. That means top-tier specialists right here and ready to help you. Scheduling is super easy. Just visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY to book your appointment. Check out Rothman's Fast Scheduler program for access to their VIP scheduling team to get scheduled with the right provider right away. Or tap into Rothman now for immediate virtual access to an orthopedic expert who can point you in the right direction. Do not wait it out. Go to rothmanortho.com/PHLY and take the first step towards feeling like yourself once again. And as always, let's go Flyers! You know that moment, the one where you realize you left your favorite sunglasses at the beach or on the roof of your car or at a gas station 3 states away. I have been there. I've been there far too many times wearing my sunglasses in the ocean, losing them and then saying never again. But then I found Shady Rays and it has changed the game. These sunglasses are made for real life. They're great looking, they're polarized, they're durable, and they're not crazy expensive. And here's the wildest part. If you lose or break them, even on day 1, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now I actually wear my favorite sunglasses without fear on hikes, at concerts, on the boat, wherever. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PHLYSR for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Again, that's shadyrays.com. Use code PHLYSR for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Welcome back, PHLY Flyers. There's a bunch of reasons you should be following us right here on the PHLY Sports YouTube page. Obviously, we have a show every weekday at 1 p.m., unless there's like a draft or something. But basically every weekday all summer at 1 p.m., but we have so much other content. We bring you an episode of The Shootout every week, and right now, every other day leading up to the draft at 4 p.m., one of Charlie's top 5 targets for the Flyers at number 21 drops. Tomorrow at 4, Charlie's prospect profile on Elton Hermansson will be in your feed, so make sure you're following us right here for that. Speaking of 21, Steve, this debate has taken over the office the last few days, so I want to get your take on it, because I think there's one right answer and one ridiculous answer.
Okay,
So,
I'm probably in for one of those. I think we all know which one.
The Flyers are drafting at 21. Would you call this a high pick or a low pick?
What? I don't understand. Okay.
Like, the question is a high pick
It's a low first
high
round
on the
pick.
board but a low number, or a higher number that's lower on the board?
It's a wait. Okay. Explain this to me one more time. Explain this to me like I'm 5, because
If you are drafting 5th overall, you drafting high or low?
that's a high pick.
Right?
That's a high pick. That's easy.
This debate has raged for days.
Wait. Are they trying to say that like a first overall pick is a low pick?
Yeah, like stupid. because it's a lower number.
No, it's a high pick.
Because the number is in fact low.
No, this is not even a debate for me.
This
This is a low first round pick.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not even in
the reason I ask is that this debate has been going on for like 3 days until yesterday.
I'd rather talk about hot dogs
when
as a
all
sandwich.
three people, our bosses Jamie and Todd, and our social media guy Ben, who's on the Gargano show all the time, were all making their case, thinking they were arguing, and it turns out they were all just confused about what the others were saying, and they all agreed. It was a comedy of errors, realizing, because they thought Todd thought it was low, and he goes, no. Like, Tom Brady was not a high pick. He was a low pick.
He was literally the lowest pick.
They're all like, that's what we were saying, and it was like an episode of The Three Stooges.
That's like Abbott and Costello. That's some of the oldest comedy in the country. Who's on first? Like,
yes.
Phil, I don't know.
It
like,
was...
Oh, my God.
It was absolutely who is on first.
Yeah, 21 is a low first-round pick.
Now, Steve, I want your opinion on whether this thing the Stanley Cup champion Carolina Hurricanes were doing all season was cool or not. Right. Whether this is a cool move
Instagram
or
clip
kind
right
of
here.
a dork move
Okay.
by Brind Amour. All season, the training staff for the Carolina Hurricanes ended workouts by having all of the guys lift a 35-pound cinder block over their head, and they were calling them blue-collar lifts. And then maybe some people started to put it together, or it came out after the fact. The Stanley Cup weighs 34.5 pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
If it wasn't Brind Amour, this is the most like try-hard high school Harry thing of all time.
It is very high school, like college. Like I could see this on Friday Night Lights.
Yes, this is exactly something that would happen on Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
But since it's Brind Amour, and since they did end up winning and lifting the Stanley Cup,
it all worked out.
Kind of cool.
It all worked out. I mean, I've seen dorkier, like, see the Rangers Broadway hat that they wore after wins. Like, hey, look at this little fedora. Stupid. But when it comes down to the blue collar lifts here, like, this is kind of dorky, but it's a very sports coded thing.
This is such a, like, I read this in a motivational book.
Yes.
And it's my favorite book ever. Also, it's the only one I've ever read. Like, very much that.
Yes, very much the only book they ever read. But yeah, this is such a sports thing. Like, I think it's kind of cool by sports standards.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who like doesn't think sports is cool, this is incredibly dorky.
I think it's incredible. Like, if Dave Hackstall or like Elaine Vigneault,
John Stevens.
Like if Elaine,
I'm thinking of John Stevens specifically because if you've never heard about the John Stevens story, it's that he what was it? He got them like a sheet cake and he explained that you guys are all the ingredients in this cake. And that was his lesson. He's like, you're the flour and you're the eggs and you're the icing. And that's how we came together to win this one series and then lose again to the Penguins over and over.
The Nick Sirianni, we're planting flowers. And it's like,
man, he got mocked for that and then they won the Super Bowl.
And like, if he had just said trees,
yeah,
like no one would have batted an eye. But like, what are flowers for? Well, you give flowers to women. So obviously men can't be flowers. Like it was just like the most nonsense. And like, that's where it goes the other way in ridiculousness. But like, if this was like
so far,
if this was like Elaine Vigneault or Bruce Boudreau, it would be dorky.
Yeah.
But since Brind Amour is in like better shape than anyone on the team and was probably doing two of them at a time, I think it lands on the cool side. And also they won, so it worked.
Rod's got a cinder block in each hand and he's like, yeah, boys, just think about this. Whole time just flexing in a suit. The man can flex in a suit. I mean, you gotta listen to it.
Like, I think Tocchet and Berube could maybe get away with this.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Definitely not.
Who are like maybe a badass?
Boudreau is the funniest example. Because Boudreau's like this round, short guy who just shows up and is like, hey, boys, let's lift the cinder. It's like Danny DeVito's telling you to lift a cinder block over your head. He's like, all right, boys, let's do some bench presses now with the cinder blocks. Some blue-collar presses. The blue-collar part, by the way, is the dorky part.
Oh.
Because I don't mind the cinder block, because cinder block's kind of badass, right? But it's calling it blue-collar. It's like when you go and you're eating, like, at a fancy brunch place, like, here's the blue-collar breakfast. It's got one of every meat on the menu. Like, okay, la-di-da.
I feel like that is we're going to call it a blue-collar lift and use a cinder block so that we trick them and they don't put this 35-pound thing together.
It's not a Stanley Cup lift.
Exactly.
Wink.
And if it was like they were lifting a mock Stanley Cup, then like they'd get expelled from the league. They'd be like, no, you touched something that even looks like the cup before winning it? Like,
God, heaven forbid.
So they can't do this. So this was like a way to disguise it. It's a blue-collar lift.
You looked at the conference trophy? You've cursed the franchise for the rest of eternity.
I think basically, like, Brind Amour has the...
Superstitious game, folks.
Oh, my God. Brind Amour has the he's cool, he's a badass, and he's ripped going for him, so it works.
It's a great combination right there. And also, he's got that little, like... that one piece of his hair that's colored different. Does he do that on purpose? Like, what is that?
It is so cool.
That, like, it's literally a touch of gray.
Yeah, he's
super
like,
cool.
He must be combing that in, right?
There's gotta be, like, his wife has to be doing it. Like, there has to be something there because there's no way it naturally came in and it's that perfect.
Just that spot.
It's crazy.
The amount of time he must spend.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Just zhuzhing that every day.
But, I mean, he's Rod the Bod. He's
Rod the Bod.
He's a pretty good-looking man.
He spends as much time on his hair as he does on his body, and it's clearly a lot of time, folks. Let's talk about men's bodies some more.
Why the hell not, Steve? Why not? All right, a couple of...
This is PHLY After Dark going on.
It's just... I just think this thing, like, it is the exact, like... It is what is both cool and dorky about sports.
Yeah.
And I was like, if this was 31 other coaches, I would be like, I could see the locker room just rolling their eyes.
Oh, yeah.
But since it's Rod the Bod, it's like, oh, yeah, we'll lift this cinder block because he told us to.
Sports they really are truly the combination of cool and dorky because, like, we're wearing another man's shirt.
Yeah.
But it's also super cool. Like, one of the coolest things you can wear, like, sometimes a hockey jersey. Like,
they're great.
Snoop in the 90s wearing a hockey jersey is, like, one of the coolest looks of all time. But then, like, I don't know, wearing just any basketball jersey as a white guy with a short sleeve t-shirt, you're basically like, okay, dork. Like the whole concept
I'm the backup point guard
of just wearing somebody's uniform around is like, look at me. It sounds dorky, but it's also super cool.
And then you see someone with their own name and you're like, but doesn't that make more sense?
Yeah,
like, right. At least it's your name. Like, you're not walking around with someone else's name tag on.
Oh, which guy in the team are you? Got him.
Where do you play? Like,
where do you play?
Shut up, man.
Shut up. That's where I play.
That said, I
play at Fight Me University.
With no shame, I will say we when referring to the teams I'm talking about. Because I think I've earned it, damn it.
I've earned it.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen no Stanley Cups for the Flyers. 42 years old. I deserve to say we.
No one in this town has been here longer than me, damn it. None of the owners, none of the GMs, none of the players. It's mine. Yeah. I'll say we.
Now there's no it's not.
But I would never get a Matt's Flyers jersey. No. Never.
I do. I actually do have a Jaco Phantoms jersey, but it's from when it was from 1997. So it's been like 30 years since I got it.
I have a Matt's Charleston Chiefs jersey, but it's hung up on my wall. I got it in 4th grade. It doesn't fit.
I will occasionally wear the Phantoms one because it is the late 90s purple Phantoms jersey, which is an elite jersey. So, and the fact that it still fits me in any way, shape, or form, doesn't fit me as good as it used to, let's be honest, but that's something I got when I was 13 years old. To still fit me in any way now is a miracle.
All right, coming up on the other side, we're going to take our final break. Then I have a couple of mailbag questions from yesterday that I saved because I wanted to have the conversation with a co-host. Maybe we'll get into this Phantoms thing I've been trying to shoehorn in for like a week and a half. Who knows what's going to come up after our final break. Parks Casino is my casino of choice. Parks is a great place for a night of headline entertainment and award-winning dining. Make the night complete and stay at the new, beautiful Parks View Hotel, which is just steps away from the Parks Casino and offers shuttle service. And just announced, comedian Ben Bankus on August 22nd and magician Michael Carbonaro on September 19th. And guess what? Tickets are still available for these headliners at Parks Casino right now. On Saturday, June 20th, All McCartney Live, a tribute to Sir Paul McCartney. And then George Thorogood and the Destroyers on August 28th. Have yourself a bourbon, a scotch, and a beer with George Thorogood. And then we've got Sebastian Bach Station with special guest Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses. That's on October 23rd. So do not wait. Tickets are going fast. Head over to parkscasino.com to buy your tickets. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Spring is here, and that also means pest season is right around the corner. Ants, spiders, bees, and other unwanted pests become much more active this time of year, making now the perfect time to protect your home. That's why our friends at Evans Pest Control are running a spring sales event for new customers. If you're new to Evans Pest Control, you can get 5% off general pest control services when you book your first treatment. All you have to do, use the promo code SPRING5 when you schedule your service. This offer runs from March 15th through May 31st, and it applies to standard general pest control treatments designed to keep your home protected from common seasonal pests. Just mention or enter the code SPRING5 when booking to receive 5% off your service. So if you're looking for reliable pest protection this spring, reach out to Evans Pest Control, schedule your service, and use the code SPRING5 to save 5% during their spring sales event. Learn more at evanspestmgmt.com. Welcome back. Final segment here on this Friday edition of PHLY Flyers. And I have some mailbag questions. Yesterday, I did a mailbag show, and I was solo. So a couple of these, I wanted to actually have conversations. So I saved them for today when I knew Steve would be here. The first one.
It's fun tap dancing solo on this kind of show. It's so much fun. It's just a great joy.
That's why I always do mailbags. Yeah. I didn't even do any prep. It's super easy. The listeners prepared the show for me today.
You're doing the work, folks.
I put it in the Discord. I was like, listen, tomorrow's show, someone's got to do the prep, and I really don't want it to be me. So hit me with some questions. And people came through. So these are the ones I saved.
Why you guys are the best.
First one is from Benny Blue Skies and Dark Clouds.
Mr. Blue
Says,
Skies.
You get hired to be the DJ at Xfinity Mobile Arena. What is your warm-up, walk-out, skate-out playlist? And so I put this into two categories. Entrance, when the players come on the ice, and then what plays during the actual warm-up. Two options for me for entrance. 311, Creatures. Just an awesome intro that bangs hard, and then they come out the entrance there. That was my backyard wrestling entrance song.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Just sit there, get myself pumped up. He's like, guess that's why I live it. Watch it now. Boom, come out the entrance. It's perfect.
That's nice. That's nice. When I, NHL 11, I think, was the last game that let you put in your own songs, which was awesome. I used to use For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica for quite a bit.
Excellent
choice right there.
Or The Roots in the Music. Another really good build, and then I'm from the illest part of the Western Hemisphere. All right, done.
In the Music's fantastic. I also love Rock You. Rock You is fantastic.
I saw that we both had a Roots song for our intro. And that's all right. Sidebar here. It's F Around Friday.
Let's do it.
I think it started with the Avs doing a pop punk sing-along and all the small things. And the crowd, they turned it off. The crowd would keep singing, and it was cool. And now I think every team in the league also uses all the small things. Just get, you know how many songs
get your
there
own
are?
thing. Get a bit.
You know how many songs there are in the world? People know the words to more than just all the small. Pick any other song.
You can even pick other Blink-182 songs.
Yeah.
Damn it. Come on.
It's excellent. That would be fun to sing along.
It would be fun to sing along,
but
too. What's my age again? Come on.
I would want something.
Do it, stay together for the kids?
Yeah. That's just and the Flyers are going to overtime again.
So here's your holiday.
I just think the music should be a little bit more us focused, and the Roots, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, and then
absolutely, and the Roots are, I think, the coolest band to come out of Philadelphia. There's some great bands.
Yes.
I know a lot of people love Mount Joy, for instance, but the coolest band has to be the Roots.
Also in the running,
even though they're stuck on Fallon for the rest of eternity.
Yeah. Also in the running for entrance, everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Oh, great song.
Everybody have fun tonight.
Super fun.
That's my motto.
Yeah. That is your motto, indeed.
And then, or, of course, old reliable, Maxine Nightingale, Get Right Back Where We Started From, but a couple of teams use that for their victory song now, so it's not cool. And then warm-ups, I would just have a loop of Run DMC.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that because you want to talk about cool guys. Run DMC is one of the coolest. I also I love TNT. TNT will get me excited no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
And I also love the opening of The Pretender. The Pretender by the Foo Fighters.
That's
one
good
of my
stuff.
favorite songs.
All right, let's go to this next question and then get to the Super Chats. Patrick Langdon. You're a name guy, Bill. What's the coolest Flyers player's name since 2000? What about all Philly sports and all PHLY? So Philly sports, I said Randy Wolf is a badass name.
Oh, it is a badass name. And the Wolf Pack is the greatest fan group of all time.
And here at PHLY, I didn't even do this on purpose.
Besides Padilla's Flotillas, of course.
Oh, that was excellent. Free Urbina. Just one guy holding up a sign.
Machete!
For PHLY, and I didn't even do this on purpose, didn't put together till I said it out loud. Bo Wolf. Both wolves spelled differently.
I mean, there you go.
But I didn't do the
like
Flyers.
The
I just used Radavojevic yesterday as my go-to.
Branko Radavojevic is a great name, right?
I figured there's no one better to play name some guys with than Steve Jaco.
Oh, yeah.
So
I love some names.
Who do you got for me?
Oh, you have a great list right here, and I didn't do any research.
I did all pre-lockout 99 through 04 guys.
I'm a big fan right here of looking at the list you've got here. Zarli Zalapski.
I have no
alliteration.
No idea.
Sounds like an Eastern European superhero. It's fantastic.
No idea who this character is.
Yeah.
No memory of him whatsoever. But it just reminded me of in How I Met Your Mother when they start calling Barney Swarley. Like that just made me laugh.
No.
Like Jim Vandermeer's cool. Andre Savage, like who wouldn't want to be Savage?
Andre Savage sounds like a wrestler.
Yeah.
So Andre Savage is a fantastic name over there. Damon Lankow. There's just something about Damon Lankow.
NGK? That's just cool.
It's very cool. Giri Dopita, terrible player. Great name right there. Pavel Brendel. Oh, Pavel Brendel is
NDL,
great.
like 3 consecutive consonants is cool.
Yeah. Jim Vandermeer is fun to say just because I love calling him Jimmy. Jim
Vandermeer.
Vandermeer. Yeah, that sounds very like a very rich family from the early 1900s in America.
And Antero Niittymaki, because 1, it's cool, and 2, I never spell it right. I finally have internalized that it's got the double I's.
Oh, it's got a double I. Oh, I never spell it right either.
Niitty, but I always put 2 K's in as well, and it's double I, double T, single K.
Well,
I can never spell it right.
You couldn't spell it right, and the Thrashers couldn't score on them. So.
No, it was unbelievable. He dominated the Thrashers. I've never seen anything like it.
You put together some great names here. Kent Manderville, another one that I wanted to note here. Just, I don't know, there's something about it.
Who has the best name on the team right now?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Zegras is cool just because it's a Z.
Yeah, Zegras is cool. I'm just going to...
Porter Martone sounds like...
Porter Martone is the most fun name to say with hoagie mouth.
I just think it's
Porter
like
Martone.
Like built in a lab, like create a player name. Like,
I actually think Matvei Michkov is a great name, too.
It is. I like the
alliteration. Especially when you say it right. There's something about...
Matvei Michkov.
Yeah, I see. I like Matvei, but I've heard it's Matvei Michkov.
Yeah.
But the Canadians drive me nuts because they always say Michkov. I'm like, where are you getting a Mitch out of that? There's no T. There's no Mitch.
No one knows how to pronounce Russians' names. That's why they all get here and say whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think I kind of like Michkov out of them. Dan Vladar is a great name too because you got the Vader pun. You got the weird like Vlad sound. Like there's a lot of fun with Dan. And our newest Flyer, Joseph Woll, the Wall. Another brick in the wall. So many great wall puns we can make now. And Brenna's going to have a great time with the thumbnails with Joseph Woll.
We gotta get some Joseph Woll merch up on the PHLY store.
Yeah.
All right. I had a bunch of other stuff to get to. We'll get to it eventually. I don't know. It's a long summer.
I don't know. Call me one day. I'm around.
But it's Friday, and we got some super chats, so let's get to them. All right. First one here is from J.E. Says, player movement is beginning. The Lightning moving blue line offense off the roster has me suspicious. They're going to try and sign Carlson, which would suck royally. He needs to be our power play tutor.
Yeah, that was a fascinating move that happened today with the Toronto Maple Leafs acquiring Raddysh from the Lightning.
They were never going to keep Raddysh because they're a smart organization, and you don't overpay a guy.
Well, this 30-year-old's not going to replicate that.
You don't overpay a 31-year-old who was just playing at basically league minimum, I think, and then doubled his career high in points. I just don't think you pay that guy.
No.
And so whoever gave him the big ticket was probably going to be signing a guy to a bad contract, and it was never going to be the Lightning.
Quite an offseason so far for those Maple Leafs.
They're interesting. I find them fascinating.
Yeah.
John Chayka,
Hiller.
Yeah, they're just doing weird stuff, and I'm all for it. I just hope they're freaking terrible next year.
Oh, we want them to be bad. We're running tankathon for the Maple Leafs.
Well, I had a question yesterday if I could put a curse on one team for next season. I was like, listen, I want bad things for the Ducks. I want bad things for the Devils and, you know, the Senators, who I just hate, and the Penguins, who I just hate. But for 1 year, I would trade the Penguins winning the Cup next year for a top 10 pick from Toronto.
Well, and not only do we get the top 10 pick, but Toronto also, in a very conspiratorial way, just happened to get the first pick this year with McKenna. So another reason that you just want to root against them. So you have the Flyers angle, but also the fact is, like, why should they get the first overall pick? They haven't gone through any suffering. I mean, they're suffering. There is a certain brand of suffering.
They haven't won the Cup since '67.
That's true. But they made the playoffs.
The moon landing allegedly happened more recently. I believe the moon landing happened, and I just like to say it because it makes people mad.
See, this is a conversation I can talk about. Why is it the end of the show?
They haven't won the Cup in color TV.
Turn into our Patreon where we can talk about the moon landing.
There were 6 teams in the league when they last won the Cup. There's going to be 4.
You're right. No, they have gone through suffering, but relative to the Flyers over the last 6 years, it's been a lot better to be a Maple Leafs fan, even with those playoff losses, than it has been to watch this miserable excuse for a hockey team during that time.
What if they get some? What if they get some of that Edmonton luck? Win it again. It would be ours.
It would be ours.
Tremendous.
Believe me, that I am rooting for them to just have a miserable year, and I hope they do keep Sam Ersson.
But if Tampa is in the market for a John Carlson, you have to believe, even if the Flyers come in with 1 year, $14 million, it's like 2 years and a chance to win a cup and play for John Cooper and not pay income tax.
Pretty nice.
He's probably going to, that is a better situation for a veteran player.
Hang out on the beach.
If they're in the mix, that's not good for the Flyers.
It's not great for the Flyers there, but they're going to get Darnell Nurse, apparently.
Yeah, so that's fine. JE, again, reports are that 45 out of the 32 NHL teams are interested in trading for Nurse. Really so where is he going? As Theo Von says, it depends on who you ask, bro. Both sides have finally come to the conclusion it's time for a change of scenery for Darnell Nurse, and right now he has a full no-move clause. Starting July 1st, 2027, that goes to a can't be waived sort of no-move and a 10-team no-trade list. So this is his last opportunity to have full control. He wants that full control. So he's going to, while many teams are interested, probably half of them he's going to say no to. Yeah.
And we've heard some rumblings at this point about some mutual interest in the Flyers. So there seems to be a great likelihood of something's going to happen on defense this offseason.
Charlie has said to me,
Carlson is a possibility. There are things that are likely to happen.
Charlie has said to me, based on conversations with sources he won't even give to me, both in and outside, but plugged into the organization, they are nowhere near done on defense.
Okay. That's spicy. I like spicy.
All right. Next one here is from Davis Shubs. Why can't McDonald take the Nurse role? He and Bonk looked solid last game. Run it back with some youth unless we snag a true game changer, in my opinion. I just don't think they want to go with 3 young defensemen. I think Bonk and Jiricek are going to battle for the 6th spot. And if Bonk proves himself and can move up in the lineup, and Jiricek can show he's not an absolute disaster when he's out there at even strength, maybe eventually they're both playing, but you can't go into the year with that plan.
I'm not sure I'm a Hunter McDonald believer either. I want him to prove me wrong. I just don't think he's that guy.
I think he could be a fine physical third pair defenseman if your top 4 is good and you have a good puck mover, a better Emile Andre on the other side.
Yeah.
And with that, I got to trigger overtime. Go to allphly.com to finish watching today's show. I don't think Hunter McDonald's ever going to be a 20-minute-a-night defenseman.
Yeah. Nurse is a guy that you can put into the lineup and is an upgrade for a team that is trying to upgrade. And a team that saw themselves get smoked in the second round and said, no, we don't want that to happen again. We want to actually compete. And we want to move forward.
When we talk about what the Flyers are doing, we always have to remember, I try to frame it as what I believe their plan is, not what I would do. Because, my plan would have included trading and not re-signing Travis Konechny. But, that is over. They're doing it this way. 1, they want to be as good or better than they were this year next season. 2, they want young guys to earn their spots. They're not just opening spots and saying, here you go. They are letting them cook and earn it. And when they do, they say a lot of our players, like Danny can trade Nick Seeler at any point to any team in the league for a 4th-round pick.
Yeah,
he has that in his back pocket at any time. And that's every team wants a Nick Seeler.
Every team wants a Nick Seeler. It's
whether he's your 5 or your 7, they don't like.
Great locker room guy, blocks shots. He's pretty much like he could fit on any roster in the NHL.
And they will make these moves when they think they should, not like, oh well, we got these guys coming. Let's just trade vets. They don't like that.
Do it. I'm a little bored today.
Yeah. All right. Next one here is JH. Only one senator I'm interested in. Oh, captain, my captain. # bring him home. Where does he play?
I'll just center with Noah Cates, and you got to move somebody out if you're bringing him up. I'm actually not opposed, but you have to move some guys.
He's 38. He served his time.
Yeah.
Let the man be.
Yeah, it's a shame that he wants to go back to Ottawa.
There's one scenario under which I would want to bring Giroux back. If in like the next 2 or 3 years, the Flyers are legitimate, like top 3 in the conference, legitimate cup contenders. If there's a chance to bring Giroux in at like the deadline and get him a cup, cool. I'm not interested in signing him to a 2-year deal as a free agent.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds fun, and he has played at a nice level still, but it doesn't really fit the team per se.
He's a good player. I'm just like, you did your time, man. Yeah. It's over. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is Linden 49. Nurse flat out sucks. Bring up McDonald. To that, I would say one.
He doesn't have the
that's
A.
Mac's name.
Yeah.
Hunter McDonald is just MC, and that's no big deal. Just pointing that out. 2, read Charlie's article, allphly.com. Nurse sucks because of the perception of him based on his $9.5 million contract. If you look at every underlying statistic, he's a decent second-pair defenseman. And the physical element, I think him next to Drysdale, that sort of archetype, would do wonders for Jamie Drysdale becoming a more aggressive puck mover as he progresses. Like, is it Nurse? Is it just a big physical guy like Nurse? Like, whatever it is, I just think it fits. At 9.5, no. But 7 or less, I think it works.
I really got to see who might move in this deal.
It depends on what the hell they're giving up.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just not a believer in Hunter. I haven't seen anything from Hunter McDonald to truly make me a believer in this.
I'll tell you what I saw on him. In that game, 82, he Cronwalled a guy. Breaking out of the zone, head down. He didn't back up.
You do love somebody Cronwall.
He didn't back up. He stepped into him and laid him out, and it eventually led to a goal. He got an assist on the play. I love that. But
I'd love to be proven wrong.
I just don't think he's ever going to be a 20-minute-a-night guy. He'll be a physical third-pair piece.
And I just feel like if the organization believed more in him being that guy, he'd already be in the mix.
Like he's almost 25.
Yeah. Because, Tocchet loves a guy like that.
Yes, 100%. I think Bonk and Jiricek are well ahead of him on the depth chart right now.
Yeah. That's who I'm very excited for. Bonk. Yeah.
All right. J.E. coming back in. Guys, Danny Briere is a value hunter in trades. Where is their value in Nurse? Trade minor assets for a bad contract or get decent cap value for an older player at a high trade price. Neither sounds like Danny Briere. The 4 years left is why it's one of the reasons that makes me skeptical it actually comes to fruition.
Yeah.
But they just have so much cap space. That's really what it comes down to. But to me, that's why you give an overpriced short-term contract to John Carlson, not commit. Because if you take on the full deal from Nurse, you should get him for very little.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. And it's just, I think it could be a good trade. I just think there's a lot of worlds where it's not.
Yeah,
but him on this team, the defense is better if he is on this team. Yeah, I fully 100% believe that.
Especially if you are shipping Risto out, you are going to have to replicate somebody for the physical element in there, especially for penalty kill situations and also for just kind of tossing guys around at the end of the day where Risto doesn't really toss guys around. He kind of just goes like, hey, you over here now. Whereas Nurse will actually toss a guy into the stands.
Which is funny because we talked about this, Charlie and I talked about this the other day. Remember the behind the scenes thing going into that 2013 draft and they're debating all the defensemen and they show you when they talked about Sam Moran. They're like, Nurse is big and he's tough, but Is he going to whack you in the face with his stick? Sam Moran will. And he was like, no, Nurse will.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Next one here. Oh, last one is from Citrish. Is that what that says? Does Benoit make Murchison and McDonald expendable? No. Benoit is on a 1-year deal, and I think they acquired him to be the 7. I think he is here to be the vet you can plug in like Juleson.
Yeah. It also kind of feels like, when you're in an NHL video game,
I really
and you
hope.
need to make the contracts match up. It's like, okay, so a defenseman and a goalie for a defenseman and a goalie. It feels a lot like that.
Toronto was dumping cap space. Like, that's it. Like, they're probably not qualifying Sam.
Raddysh.
Like, they're probably not qualifying Sam Ersson. Like, this was a cap dump for Toronto. They wanted $5 million. That's what the trade was. And Emile Andre, they want to get a little bit more mobile on the back end. Maybe he's that guy, or maybe he's just whatever. Like, they'll roll the dice on him.
Sure.
But it was just a cap dump.
Yeah.
This trade was a third for Wall. Everything else kind of just like whatever to me.
You're making those contracts work, right? You gotta get in
making
the
that-
NHL trade machine.
Making that bar go green.
I'm forever convinced that was Chuck Fletcher's trade machine. Was they just gave him an NHL video game and said, "Yes, this is how you make trades work, Chuck."
Yeah, we made NHL 17 an app.
Yeah,
basically.
Ooh, look at this neat thing.
Oh man, that poor man. All right. We have another one here. Sarah Nurse would fit the team better than Darnell Nurse.
I'll sign Sarah Nurse in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. That is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't already, go to allphly.com/events. Get your draft party tickets. It is 1 week away next Friday. That's right, June the 26th.
We're going to be there. We're going to be broadcasting. It's going to be great.
Yards Brewing. It'll be me. It'll be Steve. It'll be Kelly live during the draft. It'll be a wonderful party. $5 beer specials at Yards Brewing. You're not going to want to miss it. allphly.com/events. Follow us right here on the PHLY Sports YouTube page tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Charlie's latest prospect profile drops. Follow us on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers. Reply to our show clips and maybe be featured in Response Rewind. And follow the podcast wherever you get those. And listen to Flyperbole.
Hey, two quick plugs. Sketch comedy show Thursday night. Yellow Bicycle Theater Motel Party. Come check us out. It's going to be a blast. And new Flyperbole coming on Monday on Broad Street Hockey. Check that out.
All right. I see we got one more.
Okay. You really snuck it in there.
I think they do it on purpose. Chris Lancey, why do Flyers fans hate every first-round pick? Jet Nesbitt, who haven't played but absolutely fall in love with late-round AHL lifers like
it's
McDonald.
All about expectations.
Yes.
There are huge expectations you're drafted in the first round and no expectations you're drafted after that, and it's all about that.
And to be fair, those players in like public mock drafts and rankings, Jet and Nesbitt were later. Like, they overdrafted them. Now, that has nothing to do with the internal board, but people read that stuff, and they're like, at 13, he was supposed to go 20.
Excuse me?
Okay.
How dare you?
Yeah, and McDonald, it's like, well, we just want a big physical guy. I don't think anyone thinks he's a star.
That's the other thing with McDonald. Is like, he big.
And Keith Jones has been in love with Hunter McDonald since he got the job and has brought him up unprompted to us in multiple conversations.
How you doing? Hey, Jonesy, how you doing today? Hey, Bill, Hunter McDonald.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and now that's really all the time we have. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. My name is Bill Matz. That is Steve Jaco. Thank you, Briere. Be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.